Hi, this is Sam Hooper, your friendly local legislative lawyer, and I'm here to tell you about my week in legislative law. So, first thing, I'm going to be travelling to Concord, New Hampshire tomorrow. On Tuesday, there's a lot of really good housing bills to do with zoning reform coming up for their first committee hearing in the House Housing Committee. These are bills that would make it easier to build accessory dwelling units, would reduce minimum lot sizes, would do lots of other things that could potentially increase property rights, increase property freedom, and lower the cost of housing, helping to solve the housing crisis. So I'm going to be supporting several bills, testifying in favour of several bills by Representative Joe Alexander. A couple of other bills as well are also really good. And while I'm there, I'm just going to be meeting with some other New Hampshire lawmakers who I've had the pleasure to get to know over various summer conferences and different events, just to see how IJ might be able to help them, if their priorities intersect with our areas of focus in terms of economic liberty, property rights, free speech, or education freedom. So, going to be a busy travel week going to New Hampshire. Here on the home turf in Texas, we are making some final edits to our Texas Food Truck Freedom Bill. So this is a great bill that would establish a single statewide license for Texas food trucks, rather than the current situation where food truck owners have to get a separate license from every single town in which they want to operate, which can become enormously expensive if they travel, if they do different festivals, or if they just operate somewhere like the Dallas-Fort Worth region where there's lots of little independent councils and municipalities in one big conurbation. So again, this is a good economic liberty bill. Very excited to get this one filed. We've got a press release and lots of comms and activism work ready to go to, but we just need to make a few more edits to that bill first. And then also next week is the beginning of the Oklahoma state legislative session. We've got a couple bills that we're looking at very closely here. One that we're very excited to support is Senate Bill 559 by Senator Bergstrom. This is an issue very dear to our hearts and a little bit off the wall. It's to do with funeral caskets. So the box you go in when you're buried. At present, if you want to make and sell funeral caskets in Oklahoma, you can only do that if you're a licensed funeral director. Never mind if you don't do any other stuff to do with funerals. You're not in contact with grieving families. You're not doing embalming. You're not doing services, anything like that. You still have to become a licensed funeral director, which obviously restricts competition. It's a protectionist cartel on the part of the Oklahoma Funeral Directors Association that we are hoping to break with this good legislation this session. So we'll be supporting that. We're also potentially looking to oppose a bill that would require a license to be a storm chaser in Oklahoma. I'm going to do a whole separate video about that because that one's crazy. Again, that's very anti-economic liberty. Might also have some First Amendment free speech implications as well. So there's a lot going on. Oklahoma, New Hampshire, back home in Texas. That's my week in legislative law. I'll keep you updated as I travel around the country working on some of these pro-freedom bills.